name is Aliaksandra Yakubouskaya, and I have my artistic name Ay Lak. And I'm originally from Belarus. I lived 23 years, and then I moved to Czech Republic for my studies. And last 2 years I'm living in Berlin, and also still very often coming back to Czech Republic, and as I have a lot of friends and connections and community. As an artist, I work with different kind of installation-based performances, and I work with different collective body material, immateriality, and some sort of like dreaming, breath, heartbeat, these collaborative practices and different like performances that invite people, they invite people for participation and some sort of being together in different unconventional situations. That's my artistic practice. Like very often when I do installations, people are the one who activates that spaces. Yeah, and well, that's what I do now. But I started as a fashion designer. As I started with fashion design, I start my performative practice through collaborating with these models, because I was not very interested in doing classical fashion shows, and then I start to invite people to sort of experiment or improvise on a catwalk instead of walking. Just do something like more experimental, and that's how it started. And actually, that's how it's like brought me to this participatory performances. Somehow, I feel so partly. I was collaborating with my models. Instead of doing classical fashion vlogs, we were kind of creating performative experiences together, and that's how actually it's the first step to do some participatory performances later. And also through doing fashion, I worked a lot with material, photography, post-production, video. And then when I studied later, yeah, it's always some sort of bringing me to where I am now, basically. Artistic practice is always connected to thinking and feeling, but it's also some sort of conceptualizing all the time and some sort of building all the world with symbols. And sound for me and music, it's more intuitive. However, it doesn't mean that art is not intuitive, but here I don't try to conceptualize and reflect what kind of symbols I put in. I just let it express. And that is why music is amazing, because it's so abstract that we could do this, but then each of us will interpret anyway differently, because it's very abstract. And then I don't need to sing, I just basically meditate on it, or it's a therapy. It's expression on the same time. And that's why it's so simple but wonderful. have never wanted to do music actually, but actually I was doing music from childhood because I was studying in music school. And then when I was living in Belarus, I was part of community and we were doing improvisational practices all the time, almost every day. It was like part of our daily life activities, and I have never thought about like publicity of these things. It just was some sort of interaction between each other and part of our travels and life. But then later, when I was living already in Czech Republic, first like really public performances that we had, it was with my friends in university. I created this collective, Black Moon Night. It was called Black Moon Night, and that was actually the first of my experiences. Making sound music is also connected with collaborative practice that I am part of, and I'm loving that. And it's includes field recordings, includes a lot of listening, being in nature, collecting these materials, and like basically how I came to that and how I developed that. It's through being part of collective that we actually started around 7 years ago together with my friend, and that is like grown until now as a sort of community and collective with name Outside In, Inside Out, Inside Out, Outside In. Basically what it means like this in-betweenness because we establish it on the base of laboratories that happen in every year in summertime, where we have a time and space to be together and experiment on different kind of practices, body practices, sound practices, different like performative experiments, and it's all some sort of experimentation and improvisation. And in the end of this laboratory, we used to have like 2 days events that include a lot of live performances and different sound-related things and other. But through being there with these people all this time, and like some of artists who are coming there, who applied, are very interesting people who like inspired me a lot. But also just being in nature and collecting our materials there is like some sort of like how much practice developed where I am now. And I guess presence of nature in general is very important for me. I guess so. But maybe that's why we're here now, right? Mm-hmm. artificial park. I have never seen this park in snow and full of children skating and skiing around. So I brought us here because it's a place I love to be at night. I was living not so far away before, and every time I'm coming back from Panka, it's a night, and I remember first time how amazed I was to realize that there are no any street lights. So it's like full darkness and so quiet, and it doesn't feel like the city anymore. And it's so quiet and so peaceful that it's amazing to walk through, and then you see all the shadow of trees and this natural kind of silhouettes of this park. And it's bringing me some sort of peace and calmness while walking there at night. Same like in daytime, of course, it's a really amazing place to be still. But what is amazing at night is that there are no people also. I mean, no people, and you're absolutely alone here. It is a precious experience. my personal recent project, it's a project that's called Reminiscence. Reminiscence is some memory you forgot about, then you catch it back, you remember it again. And it's a sculpture, it's a series of sculptures that is having a shape of cocoon. And it's like some sort of transitional stage, I guess. Cocoon when somebody is like still like being prepared for something else to come. But and basically the sculptures has a luminescent light that is connected to sensor. Basically the sensor collecting through radar heart rate information of all the people who enter the space, and then it's collecting and summarize them together and creating this collective heart rate. So it's like this middle heart rate of all the people that enter the space and putting it into this light pulsation in this object. So it's like also like, I guess for me it's a sort of collective body creative, but it's interesting that some people say it's literally looking like a meat, and I really actually like it because when I started to do this project, it was starting of the war, and I was reflecting actually a lot on this humanity cycle, cyclicity of times, and yeah, like some sort of that's why it's reminiscence. It is like remembering something that already was forgotten and repeated again. So, and this like cocoon is a sort of like cycle life because it's always like some sort of natural life behavior in insect, in moths life, same as us. So that's how. Oh, I've heard a lot about this project. Like maybe too many. So, but it is what it is. Continue talking about this collective, outside in, inside out, outside in. We used to, as I said, we used to do some laboratories, and then we extended to different public events and exhibitions. And very often it's like all music related, sound related things, not only, but it's some sort of outcome. But the process how we work is we like to, well, okay, last year together we went, for example, to Indonesia. We met artist Vincent, who joined our residency 2 years ago, and he told us about that as Indonesia is very big and it has a lot of islands, to arrive to this island where he is based, like where his parents live in, he needs to go by boat, and this boat is taking like 5 days. And we got really inspired by this idea of traveling somewhere a long time, and we decided to go to Indonesia, and we took collectively this boat and traveled on this for 1 week together as a sort of our collective collaborative practices. In real situation it was uncomfortable. The boat didn't have like good food, light 24 hours, no dark spaces, just really busy all the time. But I think that's how we work, we're putting ourselves together in uncomfortable condition. And during that trip we also met a lot of nice people, a lot of collectives who invited us to play. So it was also like sort of touring that ended with arriving to this island Bandaneira. It's island that is like near Papua, and there in a village there is a school, and in a school we made a series of workshops for children. For example, me and my friend Katarina, we were doing about listening, so we closed eyes for children and walked them together, and then we were inviting them to take different kind of objects and improvise with that. And children were doing really great because the school where they study, it's already music orientated. They all have some sort of instruments. They have like playing on a gongs from childhood. And then there is like, our idea was more like open up this idea of sound together. And yeah, another workshops that happened, for example, people were showing some really technical Ableton synths for children. Also doing like a video workshop, video making workshop. Yeah, that's what we were doing there. And I have really nice material for documented about that. I would love to share it. And what else we were doing there? Yeah. Also, it's not the only time when we went to some sort of travel together, because as why we are doing that, like, for example, a few years ago we also had a walking performance from Czech Republic to Germany. We were walking for 5 days together through mountains and like basically crossing the border. And for us, it's, I guess, this very body involved, very slow things are very important, because we are all from different countries. We are all migrants. We are living in different parts of the planet, and it's a lot about this dislocation, this mobility that happening now. But instead of like fasting it, we try to slow down and go on a slow boat, go by walk. I don't know, that's, I guess, as our collective is very much about nomadism, so it's very much making sense. About upcoming projects, this summer, as a part of laboratory that is happening in natural environment in Saxon-Switzerland National Park, we're going to collaborate with a local sauna and swimming pool, Toscana, that is like just a few kilometers away from the place where we are based. And because they are collaborating with local Dresden-based art center, Rockefeller Center, together with Andreas. They open up possibility for artists to compose for this special underwater system that they have. Basically, what does it mean? It means that people who are lying in the water, they can listen to the sound directly from the water. And we will have possibilities this year to compose and spend time in this space. And then it will be presented in a Sound Liquid Festival. This happening 1st of November. And we will do our live shows and like probably installation-based things also in that festival. What feels very special, I guess, because first of all working with water and sounds of water, and then for people who are basically relaxing. Well, it feels very special. That is kind of coming. I have a big project in Ableton that consists of a lot of recordings, samples that I process and again post-process, and again like basically it could be same material but it went through different processes for a few times, and it's all like in one project. That is like huge amount of materials that most of people, when they see it, they're super like surprised. But then it makes me feel great space for improvisation. So I very often don't know what I play until very last minute, and I guess it's the best feeling because I don't want to know. I want not to know, but then just also like follow some sort of intuition, and then like of course this material I heard it before, I know that, and then I just mixing it together, processing it, and also I do a lot of granulators. I guess I use my main instrument is a granulator, so I use a few of them and I play with that during the set, and maybe you could hear it from textures. I guess people who do sounds, they could hear that, and and then it's for sure for me it's storytelling, but it's not one linear story. It's a lot of stories. It's like being together and like floating through different stories. That's how it's also related to my dream practice. one of my big practice. It's working with dreams. It's like ongoing projects that I do from 2020. I started it on the beginning of COVID time, and I'm still continuing that. I work with idea of collective dreaming as some way, like collective dreaming as a practice, as a space where people can come and dream together, sleep together, be together, and develop some sort of interconnectedness and sensitivity towards each other. That I feel like, okay, dreaming is not just when you sleep, but it's dreaming when you awake. It's different kind of sort of dreaming, and it says also again, it's like materiality, invisible sort of materiality. And I do different experiments that I call workshops, or it's also another sort of participatory performances. But then I gather a lot of material for that through having one-to-one sessions with people when they tell me their dreams, and I record them. I record their dreams, and I also recording a lullabies of people. I ask them to sing lullabies that they had as a child when mother was singing to them. Exactly as this dreaming is also like a memory. So this memory about childhood as a way how to come back to that state, as a sort of like preservation of this safe space. It's a lullaby for me, at least, like that. And then I have a lot of these materials on my like some sort of dream archive, and I use these recordings very often in my sets, the songs, and in general a lot of voices. Also, like part of outside in sessions, we sometimes do different vocal improvisations and experiments. For example, last year we just blind each other. Like it was like maybe certain people being blinded, and then we just closed the space and we started to produce different kind of sounds. But no one knows who's producing what's going on, and it went really like crazy, amazing, and wild at the same time. And then we recorded it all, and like to use this kind of material, it's just, I don't know, it's a just documentation of that experience. Well, in general, voices are really nice source that I use it often.